Today on The Social, a star is born. Toronto Blue Jays rookie pitcher Trey Savage said he was built for his playoff debut, then set a postseason franchise record with 11 strikeouts against the Yankees. Is confidence in a young person impressive or off-putting? And Pierre Poilievre has a message for Prime Minister Carney ahead of today's meeting with President Trump, why the conservative leader says the promise of elbows up hasn't been kept. Then it's happy hour somewhere. We're shaking things up with drink recipes for every mood and occasion, whether imbibing or not. From world-class bartending champion Caitlin Stewart. Plus, the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City star Meredith Marks chats friendships, catchphrases, and the wildest rumor she's ever heard about herself. It all starts now on The Social.
So I just want to give a quick shout out. Not that I'm assuming you're all from Toronto, but for those who are, go Jays, go!
And you know what? We're starting off the show talking about the Blue Jays. What a weekend for the Jays. And rookie pitcher Trey Savage in Game 2 of the American League Division Series in front of 44,000 fans. Savage struck out 11 Yankees over 5 1/3 innings of no-hit ball, a postseason franchise record, leading the Jays to a 13-7 win. Okay. Now, confidence doesn't seem to be a problem for him. Here's what he had to say on Saturday.
Granted, there's going to be a lot more fans here, and there's going to be a lot more energy surrounding this place. But, I mean, I'm built for this.
All right, so, okay, you guys like that. So here's the question. Is extreme confidence in a young, inexperienced person impressive or off-putting? I love that.
Timing is everything. Of course, it's impressive. Look what he just did. Yeah. You know, we were talking about what is the difference between confidence and cockiness. Mm-hmm. The boy has the skills to back it up.
Yeah.
He is 22 years old. He has had a rocket ship of a career over the last 12 months, and he's ascended through all the levels of baseball, landing here in playoffs with the Toronto Blue Jays, beating the famed Yankees. But here's the thing I'm not going to buy. I know he's 22, and they say, oh, you know, he's had so few starts in the MLB. And I'm like, this is a guy who's been doing this since practically he was born. Yeah. So when he says, I'm built for this, I believe him. Because we think he's inexperienced because we don't know him. We haven't seen him really prove his muster long-term yet in the MLB. But in his mind, he's been playing this moment in his head for decades. So when you see someone who's in their element, he was clearly built for this. And he's also backing it up with the good. So here's the thing, and you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So he's already did it. He's did it for us. He's done it. So yes, not off-putting. If you can back it up, it ain't cocky.
I love it. What do you, oh, you don't like it?
No, I like it. I like this. Because I do think it's a confidence that he can back up. And I do think there's a difference between confidence and cockiness. But you've never been in a situation when, like, a younger person than us, they come in real hard, like vocally, like cocky a little bit. I'm always reminded of, like, myself at that age, or even younger. I remember in grade 7, just telling classmates for no reason at all, like, I'm gonna be a millionaire and I'm also gonna have a limo. Like, what?
What's wrong with that, though?
It's such a dumb thing to say. So when I see young people being like vocally cocky like that, I'm just like, oh, that's so cute. And it's kind of like an annoyance, like a cute, they're adorable, but I'm also like, oh.
Yeah, it's like they don't know what they don't know in some cases. I know, how do you tease out that line? And it made me think of some instances. I was raised with this idea of femaleness and femininity, that you are humble at all costs. And I don't know.
Bragging.
No bragging. Like that was considered to be the worst thing you could possibly do as a girl. Conceited, right? That was the word you got. So you had to be humble. And that is so firmly ingrained in me that I have a hard time even to this day of owning kind of things when I do well. Like it feels bragging and whatever. And it's something I've had to learn over time. There's this one instance that happened to me. I was part of the cheerleading team in high school.
No, you
weren't. I was. We didn't have a football team.
That's news to all
To be
of
clear,
us.
we didn't have a football team. It was more of a dance team than anything else. Seriously, it
we're
was.
trying to envision it.
Yeah, I know.
Sis,
It was
boom,
dancing.
bop.
It was dancing. But there was this one time where after we'd done, I guess, a performance, I had said something back, in the locker room, something to the effect of like, well, everyone loves a cheerleader. And my coach came by and she was like, that sounded really arrogant. And it was like almost like I was dipping my toe in being confident, and I got like a virtual backhand.
Yeah.
And so it filled me with so much shame that it's been hard for me. I feel like just now, at this stage of life, I'm starting
many
to dip
decades
my
later?
decades later.
teach you.
And I think that it's that kind of fine thing. I think women more often than not resist stepping into that kind of ownership of confidence, and we probably need to do it more. I have to say though, I still resist it.
You still resist it. Listen, I love it, and for all the reasons that you mentioned, Mel, as long as you can back it up, because I think that's when we have a problem. When someone's talking a big game and then they show up and it's like, oh, you couldn't do any of the things that you said you were going to do. But I will say that to your point where you're talking about that person who made you feel like you couldn't own like being happy about something, I think that's half of our problem. I think it's a gender issue, and I also think it's a cultural issue. I think there are certain cultures, like the Brits, really don't like people bragging about themselves, hence the reason why they hate Americans so much. And also Canadians, we've adopted that, like we don't like to brag about ourselves. But I think when you're really working hard at something, 50% of your success is the hard work you'll put in, and the other 50% is what you think in your head about yourself.
Yeah.
So in order for you to win, he already knows all the skill. He's been taught that, but he also has to believe it in himself that he can step out on that mound in front of all of those people like he did this weekend and really do it. And he needs to speak those things out loud. And I feel like when you're younger, especially, I know I ran into too many of these dream killers. There's always someone to tell you, you should calm down. You don't know what the future, and it's like, let's stop doing that. When you're young and happy and without all the extra stuff that life's gonna put on you,
Chase.
You can
let them have that moment to dream.
Chase
Because
it.
look at how it turned out.
Yeah.
Thank goodness he has that.
Hey, what about we stick with confidence for a little bit? Because I bet Travis Kelce's feeling on top of the world lately. Everyone is talking about Taylor Swift's new song. It's called Wood. And it's not so subtle references to her fiance's anatomy. So would you rather know details about his prowess, or is this too much? Like, is it like a wood panel dining room and you're just like, no, this is oppressive? Or is it like light and airy and it's just enough information?
Say wood one more time for me. Wood. I like the way you're really going with that W.
Listen, I've heard about this morning. I haven't listened to the album. I didn't do a deep dive on it yet. And maybe ever. But I did think to myself, like, is it a bit cheesy? Is it a bit weird? Then I read the lyrics and I thought they were kind of clever.
Yeah.
I don't think it's too much TMI. You think about, she comes from a long line of like female singers who sang songs about, like, Rihanna did S&M, Madonna, of course, Like a Virgin. I think about Christina Aguilera and Dirty. Like, I could go on and on and on. So she's dipping her toe into this kind of different realm.
She is. Listen, not only have I listened to the album, I'm pretty sure I know all the lyrics to all the songs already.
Way.
Wow.
That's what happens when you have a Swiftie for a daughter. And we went to the movie on the weekend because it was the big release of The Life of a Showgirl, and she goes into the deep dive. And when they asked her, what is the song Wood about? And she goes, obviously it's about superstitions and like knocking on wood.
That's what your daughter said.
No, that's what Taylor said in the movie. Now, there is an explicit version of the album and there is a clean version of the album. Parents, the reason why I need you to know this, it is TMI for your children, depending on what their age is. My daughter, she's exposed to a lot of things, but her friends, maybe not, and I respect that. So when all her friends were saying, Melissa, what's this song about? I was like, Ask your mother. It's TMI for the kids, but they did play the good. They did play the clean version in the movie theater this weekend. So if you want to go see it with your kids, it's fine. Otherwise, it is TMI for the kids. Not TMI for me. TMI for the kids.
Would kids be able to make those connections? I'm thinking about like Chuck Berry's song "My Ding-a-Ling." Like I was today years old when I learned that it's not just my ding-a-ling like a little toy.
Yeah, it's
or
true.
Peter Gabriel's Sledgehammers. Like that's about working out.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's
so
not.
what I'm saying is, if your kids aren't gifted, they might be okay.
I feel like they would go down the rabbit hole and find out
I think
about
we
it.
all grew up listening to, like, think about the songs that you sang in the back of your parents' car. I want to sex you up. Like, we sang those songs in the presence of our parents. I don't think the lyrics are that rough. I think if this were any other artist, like you mentioned Rihanna and Madonna, artists that we are already comfortable with them being very sexually explicit, it'd be different. But it's because it's Taylor, and Taylor's that all-American girl with her knee-high socks and her cute little kitten, and we're just not accustomed to hearing her speak that way. I think that's what it is. And the other part I will say about this, listen, I know she always goes to her own personal life to talk about, you know, to write something and write songs, but I'll say take a page out of J-Lo's book and be very mindful about what you put down on wax, because sometimes things don't age well. I wish them all the best in their marital life, but they haven't even started yet. They're not even married yet. You don't know what's around the corner, and if you guys break up, this Wood Song girl is gonna haunt you.
Yeah.
Like, remember, like J-Lo with that, what's that stupid series that she did? The best love story never told? How did that go? You don't want to be that artist. So I would tell her, be mindful of all this wood chit chat.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, she's made a career, a nice career.
Chit chat.
Yes.
Wood chit chat, yes.
Chit
No, she's
chat.
made a nice career writing about her whole personal life. I think it's worked out for Taylor. I think it kind of. Let's take a quick break, everybody. Time for a quick break, and then Canada. Are our elbows still up?
Oh, interesting.
Prime Minister Mark Carney, we know that he is heading down to Washington, D.C. for more trade talks with U.S. President Donald Trump. That's happening tomorrow. And Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre says it is now time to deliver. Do we agree with him? We'll discuss in 3 minutes.
This week on The Social, the Countess joins the fun. Real Housewives of New York City fan favorite Luann de Lesseps gives us her take on the stories of the day.
The show. Listen, if you want to be a part of this conversation and you're yelling at your TV screen or at your phone right now, we're going to invite you. Get your thoughts out on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and that is how you can join this conversation.
So, Prime Minister Mark Carney is in Washington ahead of the next round of trade talks with the U.S. President Donald Trump. And Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre says it's time to negotiate a win for Canada. In a letter shared on X, he wrote, quote, "You promised elbows up, but then caved on dollar-for-dollar counter tariffs, the digital services tax, and more, while we're winning nothing in return for Canada." So do we feel like it's been some time? Are Canada's elbows still up?
Right?
I like that.
All right, you know what's very interesting? I'd say the majority of the crowd says yes, and a couple people are still like, they're iffy on it. I think we're not as angry as we were when Trump was talking all that annexation. I say that because we're not naturally an angry people. We'll leave that to our cousins down south. But I'd say it definitely is, and anybody questions it, ask the U.S. Tourism Board if the elbows are still up. We're not going, and they are hemorrhaging. Las Vegas is begging people to come because we were a huge part of their tourism. So I'd say it's definitely that way. I think a lot of stores still have their Canadian, Canadian made. I think a lot of us, when we shop, are still making sure that we go for Canadian. But I would ask Pierre Poilievre, listen, do you think it's fair to ask somebody 6 months into a job like being the prime minister, where are all of these things? You know these things take time, and also he's dealing with a president in the United States who is constantly, on a daily basis, changing his mind, changing his policies, doing different things, and everybody, every world leader is just trying to figure out what to do next, because every day is something new coming from that president.
Trying to dance.
Right? He's always changing. So for you to question, what are you doing? What have you done for me lately kind of vibes? I'm like, listen, it's been 6 months, so calm down. And it's exactly what he did when Trudeau was in office. And I think, although I agree that we're in a democratic society and we need to have opposition, you need to call people out on things. Pierre Poilievre, the way that he does it, I question it sometimes just because he started a lot of rhetoric when Trudeau was in office, and I don't want that kind of nonsense coming back into our politics.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah. I mean, not to be petty, but you lost, Pierre.
That
so
part.
Anyway,
that part.
I don't know how many people want to hear from him, but moving on. I also think the reason why we're a little more lukewarm, my elbows are still up, but I'm not they were getting sore for a little while. And so what I think has happened is because we are no longer the actual target, he's not saying 51st state all the time, we have a chance to breathe. It makes us probably feel relieved. But what we're learning, at least what I'm learning with how Prime Minister Carney is moving around the world now, is we also have a lot of other friends. Yeah. So while I'm still supporting Canadian in key ways, just like you said with travel, we are looking at other allies, and I'm making sure that if I'm following my dollar, I'm also supporting our allies. So I'm supporting us and the people who are actually our friends. Now, if all of a sudden President Trump starts saying 51st, 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 I think we're all going to start acting the way we were. Again. We're going to have those elbows back up. But mine are still sharp, maybe a little less sharp. But I think it's because we realize who are our friends and who is not our friend. And I think that's been a relief for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I can understand, though, why some critics of Carney are wondering if his elbows are still up. Like, he ran with that slogan. And now it kind of feels like, to his critics, I think that he's almost doing like a chicken dance. Like, his elbows are up when he promises those retaliatory tariffs, and then they're down when he takes them all away. And, you know, it's been an interesting and very difficult time. Just in August, I think 66,000 Canadians lost their job. Not all to do with the tariffs, but certainly that's a big part of it. Our unemployment rate rose 7.1% in August. That's the second highest amount in the G7 countries. And our economy shrunk by 1.6%. So I can understand some people being like, hey, you promised this. And I can also understand that, you know, he did promise it, and then maybe when he actually met with Trump, things got a little more complicated. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because he had his idea of what he was dealing with, but that's different. You know, other countries got trade deals. Think about European Union and Japan. They've already worked that out. So Canadians must be like, come on, let's go.
Pick them up. I don't know. I mean, I don't have anything to add to this that is profound, but I think it's complicated, as you pointed out, to be a leader. I think we are only 6 months in. And I think there is an end game here. And I think we're going to see. Let's reserve judgment at least until after this meetings, until we can see what the plan is, if there is a plan. I mean, myself, just to take it home, my elbows are kind of maybe one up, one down. I'm a little confused right now. I feel like people aren't as kind to each other. Right after this whole elbows up thing, it felt like everyone was being a little nicer on the road. I feel like people are angry again, and maybe that's to do with the state of the economy. Yeah. And I came out I will not go to the States. I will not book trips there. But I'm at a grocery store, and I don't know, but like you, sometimes I'm just like, what's cheaper? And I'm less inclined to choose, and I'm ashamed to admit that. But I think a lot of Canadians are feeling that way as well. So we're going to see how these meetings go, and then see where our elbows are from there.
It's a hard position to maintain, right? Yeah.
And if you're looking for friendly Canadians, just go to a Blue Jays game. They're very friendly there.
Oh yeah,
the best fans. The best. All right, so let's move on to a whole lot of steamed coffee drinkers. For the first time in 3 years, Tim Hortons is raising the price of a cup of Joe to an average of 3 cents more per cup, reflecting the rising price of coffee beans. And according to the Wall Street Journal, despite increasing prices, people are unwilling to quit the coffee. So what is it about coffee that makes it so hard to quit? Because I don't understand this. I can take it or leave it.
I'll explain it. Number one, the addiction to caffeine. Okay. Number two, the routine. Number three, it makes me feel alive inside in the morning. Yeah, coffee for me it's like a staple. It's like toilet paper. Like I will.
Toilet?
Yeah. Oh, for real.
No.
It is.
Okay, but wait. Is there so prices of coffee has gone up, I think 3 cents per
budgeted
cup or something like this.
19% in 2025.
So that's because of tariffs, that's because of like the cost of beans and all this stuff. Is there a point at which, like I thought about it this morning, if a coffee to go and buy it was $10 a cup, I think I would have to
Just to be clear, I make my coffee at home.
I know.
Okay.
Like,
I know, but the beans even still have gone up.
For
in
sure
price.
they've
There would be
gone
a
up.
tipping point where I would be like, I'm doing tea.
Yeah, I'm gonna give up. No. I think as a lot of people, maybe not you, Sin, I think a lot of people would be willing to give up many other things just to hold on to their cup of
Really?
coffee. And it's not, of course it's addictive, but it's also the ritual. But also when you take a look at the top consumers of coffee around the world, Canada is the only non-European country to crack the top 10. And you know who we share that with? Norway, Sweden, Finland, Denmark, the Netherlands. You know what we all share?
We're
Long,
gifted.
cold
Winter.
winters. So there is something that is physically and mentally comforting about doing this and the smell, and we know the senses.
Yes.
That smell and taste. Do I even have to tell you?
Okay.
There it is.
Come on.
Well, there it is. That's what we're saying. We're giving up everything but coffee is what we're gonna do. Don't give us up. We are gonna take a quick break here on the show, and then would you end a friendship with someone who gets into romantic relationships with married men? Okay, if that's your friend, are you keeping them a friend? We'll debate after this. Okay, we're back, everybody. So here is the dilemma. Someone wrote to Dear Abby saying that their longtime friend regularly gets into relationships with men who are already taken. Now, it's bothering her to the point she's considering ending their friendship. But is that a reason to end a friendship?
Audience, you guys are more sure about the coffee thing. Okay, here.
I bet this lady doesn't drink coffee.
Yeah.
And that's the problem.
She's something else. I'd say it's a reason to end the friendship, and here's why. Show me your friends, and I'll show you who you are. If you're gonna hang out with somebody who has no problem doing this, it does say something about you. And it's also this naivete that's like, okay, so you're hanging out with somebody who regularly, and this is not like she made a mistake and she did something stupid once. She's regularly dating married men. That is like having a friend as a thief and thinking they're never gonna steal from you. That you think that you're so special. And instead of, I would ask her the question, what is it about this friendship? What does this person bring to your life that is so special that you're able to ignore this thing that makes you uncomfortable to the point where you're even questioning if you can leave
really
your
funny?
husband? How funny?
Well, they do
Is
have
she
a
Eddie
long
Murphy
history.
funny?
Yeah.
Like,
I
how
guess- I
funny
don't know,
is she? I
I-
think you have to ask yourself that question. And is it a friend, if you're nervous to leave your friend around your spouse, is that someone you want in your life?
She said she's not worried about her husband.
But it,
She said that. I mean,
sorry, I was like,
she said that.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that did strike me in this particular one is she doesn't trust her friend. Not so much about, she trusts her husband with him. She doesn't trust
Her friend.
her friend.
Yeah.
And that to me is a red flag. But for me, just to separate it from this exact story, like I don't know. My friends can do, my closest, nearest, dearest, ride or die, they can do stuff that isn't necessarily morally correct, and I will still stand by them. I've had it happen in my life where people have
give
made
us an
questions.
example.
I'm not going to give an example. You can imagine in relationships things come up, and I see them as full, whole beings. And sometimes we make mistakes and we go down paths in life. Maybe you're making bad choices with substances. You're making bad choices with relationships. And all I can do for my nearest and dearest is stand by them and hope that I can guide them in the right direction back home to themselves.
I'm not guiding
I was just gonna ask if you ever take the time to sort of like, if it's repeated bad behavior,
That
do you
part.
take the time to sort of inquire, like
And
get
guide
to the
her out of
why?
that man's bedroom?
Yeah.
No, I would definitely sit down. Again, I'm talking about like we've talked about this before on the show. There are tiers to friendships. There are the people you know, and then there's the next tier that's a little bit closer, and then there's the people who are like basically like family. And for me, I have I cut a wide swath. I can stand a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
As long as there's communication, then there's
Top-tier
open.
people.
And I
Yeah.
understand. We all make mistakes in life. None of us are above bad behavior. behavior. And it's about trying to figure out what is the balance of that.
So the birds of a feather analogy doesn't, like birds of a feather flock together, that doesn't
that
impact
sounds
your
like a
friendship.
line from a song, a Billie Eilish
think
song,
it
I
is,
believe,
yeah.
in fact.
Here's the only reason why I would say, for me, it's not necessarily just like birds of a feather. It is how much complicity are you asking of me as your friend?
That
If you
part
are in
too.
one small town and this woman is constantly dating men who are married, and people around town, this starts to get out. If that other woman, the wife of the person, all of a sudden it circles back, you are actually asking me to be complicit in your bad behavior. Now that's not fair. And to that I would say, I might not judge your choices, I will judge the position you put me in as a best friend, and that's where I would say you're crossing the line. So it is birds of a feather, but it's also reputation, is that if that's your reputation, I don't want people to start to think that's what I'm about too. So it's birds of a feather, sort of, but it's also, what lines are you asking me to cross as a friend? That's where I would draw it.
Because we're not crossing any lines around here, folks. All right. So to etiquette now, someone wrote to Miss Manners to ask who was responsible for calling back if you're in the middle of a conversation and the call drops. We've all had that happen. They say it should be the person who initiated the call. So, yeah? Y'all even think about that? Okay, so what do you guys think? Who was responsible for calling back on a dropped call?
Oh, I think it's very, very obvious. You both call each other back at the exact same time, 4 to 5 times.
Yep.
Get the busy signal,
Straight to the
and then
voicemail.
just text.
Yep. Yep. That's the way we do it.
Yeah.
Well, I always think, like, yes, whoever initiates a call, but it's also, if my phone is the one that drops out and I realize it, I call back.
How do you know whose fault? That's the confusing thing.
Exactly.
I always think it's my fault because I live in Toronto and I have guilt complexes clearly. I'm always going to take the humble route. It's me. It must be me.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I do the exact same thing as you. It's like you both call back and then you're in this endless loop and then you just are like.
And there's no such thing as busy signals anymore, Jess Allen. I know you said that, but I haven't heard one in about 20 years.
Okay, not a busy signal, but you get it like a.
You go straight to voicemail. If it was
Straight to
voicemail. That's it. Okay.
Yeah.
We've solved nothing is the answer there. So y'all figure it out for yourself. We are figuring it out that it is break time again here on the show. And after this, a cocktail to suit every mood. Recipes from world-class bartending champion Caitlin Stewart. Can't wait when we come back.
Welcome back. Our next guest is a hospitality industry veteran and world-class bartending champion.
And she's got a new book out. It's called 3 Cheers. It's a love letter to cocktails with a drink to suit every mood. Please welcome back to the show, Caitlin Stewart. Welcome.
Caitlin, so nice to see you. This is, congratulations, by the way, on this incredibly beautiful book.
Appreciate that.
And a key feature of this book is that you tell us how to prepare each drink 3 different ways.
Exactly.
So why did you want to set up the book in that way?
Listen, it's super important for me to keep everything inclusive. So there's a drink for everybody at every proof, whether you're a classic cocktail drinker, you like something a little new and modern, or if you don't imbibe at all, there's still a drink for you with all equal care and equal creation.
Love it.
So why don't we get into those drinks, shall we?
I think we should,
Shall we?
yes.
So we're going to start with a delicious-looking cocktail. It's one that's going to help us hold on to summer. And our first drink, it looks like I can definitely hold on to summer. It is called Return to Sender. And you have the 3 versions because y'all know it's been 4 years since I've been drinking. So Return to Sender, non-alc version.
This is a variation on a classic cocktail called the Airmail. Now, the Airmail is kind of like a spritz, but done with rum, typically. So this one here, the non-alcoholic version, we're using a non-alcoholic rum. We're using non-alcoholic bubbles. We got spiced honey in there. We got a little lemon, some mint, you know, some good
Loves
stuff.
it.
Some good times.
This is
yes,
it?
you can try a little there. And yeah, just kind of keeping it fun, fresh, and fruity.
There's no alcohol. I can shoot it.
There you go.
I can shoot it. That's delicious.
There you go.
Beautiful. I love that. Love that a lot. Okay, so non-alcoholic ingredients. Because I've been in this world for many years now, I have found they're getting so much easier to find and more categories. Do you find
Absolutely.
that as well?
I started bartending 20 years ago and I was a sober bartender for 4 years, and the best I could do was a non-alcoholic Caesar or something like that. Now they have entire stores dedicated to non-alcoholic products, and you can get them from Amaros to vodkas to gins, beer, everything in between.
Even?
Exactly.
All of it.
So there's something literally for everybody, and so you can put them into drinks. It's great.
Love that.
Okay, up next, we're going to talk about a classic cocktail. It's called El Diablo.
Yes.
Tell us about this one.
The El Diablo is super tasty. It's kind of like a Moscow Mule variation, but typically made with tequila.
Okay.
So you've got tequila, you've got ginger beer, you've got lime juice, and then you've got a touch of cassis. There's a little sample
there we
there
go.
for you.
Okay.
So it's a nice, long, refreshing style drink with a little spice to it. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. It's not
Classic.
too
It's a
sweet. It's a
classic.
classic. It just feels
Exactly.
like a great cocktail. So this, your book also has recipes for your riffs on classic cocktails, and we're going to make a spin on this one.
Yes.
So it's called The Devil's in the Details.
Yes.
Tell us how it's done.
Well, the devil is in these details. So here we're using tequila, but we've actually infused it with blackberries. So
Okay.
essentially, if you want to pour that into your shaker
I'm going in there.
Yep.
Okay, great.
So
Done.
essentially,
all
you're
of it.
Yep, all
Okay,
of it.
done.
Already pre-measured
Yep.
for you. Done the
Beautiful.
hard work for you.
Okay.
So essentially, you're taking blackberries, muddling them into tequila, letting it sit overnight, and then straining it out.
Okay,
Boom, bada,
great.
bing, and you're easy.
Love it.
We're also going to add in a little fresh lime juice.
Okay, done.
Perfect.
Beautiful, fun.
And we're going to go with some Ancho Reyes, which is an ancho chili liqueur. Give it a little spice.
Oh.
Yeah, well, you know, the ginger beer gives it spice, but we
Okay.
add a little more.
Love it.
And then last but not least, we're using falernum. Now, this is kind of like a tropical tiki syrup.
I've
So it's
never
got
heard of
some
that before.
spices in it. It's super tasty.
Yeah, it's got some serious punch in it.
Exactly.
Yes,
So this
okay.
we're gonna do a
Yep.
quick little shake on.
glad you're
we don't
doing
have to
that.
go
Yep.
crazy. You know, just a little shimmy in our shake.
Okay. Beautiful.
We've already got a glass pre-iced for you here.
Okay.
And if you want to grab that ginger beer for me, because we are going to, right there,
Yep,
perfect.
yep.
We're going to strain this into our glass and then top it off with a bit of ginger beer because we still want it to replicate
Okay,
an
I
El Diablo.
love this. Just a little bit, just a little bit in there.
and
Okay,
then just
so
kinda
good.
Mix it around here, and then you can give that a taste.
I love the color.
Yeah,
so
beautiful.
fancy.
Very summer. Love.
There you go.
I feel like these are pretty standard tools to have in your
Absolutely.
arsenal if you're going to be making any kind of things. But you have actually a section in the book called Tools, Tips, and Tricks of the Trade. What are some of these standards that we need to have?
There's about 5 tools that you can get away with having, and that's all you really need. So a cocktail shaker, which is typically 2 pieces like this. You can get them in like a 3-piece shaker, which is a cobbler style. A strainer, which is always nice because it keeps all the bits that you don't want in your cocktail in there. A jigger, which is going to measure everything for you because measurements matter. You know, it's much like baking that way.
Yes.
We also have got a mixing spoon in there, and then a hand squeeze juicer because fresh juice is always best.
So good.
Yes.
Love it. That's beautiful.
Hey,
Yeah.
that's great. Okay, my turn to make one.
Yeah, let's do it.
This one is another zero-proof drink. It's called. I guess your take on a very popular paper plane, which is what it's called. You call this one motion sickness.
Okay, there's a reason. There's a
Okay,
reason.
tell
There's a
us.
reason.
Yeah.
So Paper Plane is named after the MIA song Paper Plane.
Yes.
So for me, my riff version is called Anti-Hero for Taylor Swift.
Oh.
And then this one, Motion Sickness, is after one of my favorite Phoebe Bridgers songs. So,
Got
keeping it in
it.
the musical
Love it.
family. So for this
Okay.
one, instead of using a non-alcoholic spirit, we're actually using tea. So this is some brewed Assam tea, which has got a bit of earthiness to it. It's
Yeah,
going to
it
bring some
does.
depth of flavor to this cocktail.
It's kind of mushroomy.
Yeah, a little bit, like the umami, as
Umami,
we
yes,
say.
yes.
This
Okay.
is a non-alcoholic aperitif, which is going to give it a bit of brightness, mirroring that Amaro aperitif in a paper plane, and then some non-alcoholic Amaro. Again, give that earthiness.
That smells good.
Yes, so
That's
pour that in there.
good,
And then last but
yes.
not least, we need some citrus for
Yeah, we
balance.
do.
And this is all equal parts. So if you're using an ounce, ounce, 3/4, 3/4, 3/4, it doesn't really matter. Shake
An
this
ounce,
up quick.
ounce. Okay, got it.
Put a little shimmy in our shake.
Yes.
Special.
All right. And this one we are going to serve over ice.
Okay.
Kind of like, a little refreshing take, not
I
straight
got it.
up.
And you're straining
I'm
it
gonna
too.
fine strain this one just to keep all the extra little bits out.
Okay, got it.
Give it a little tap, tap, tap.
Okay.
All
Any
right.
garnish, or I can go for it.
You can just go for it.
Okay,
Why
got it.
not? There we go.
So
there we go. So we have our
That
nice.
is really nice.
It's going to be like a little earthy, that Amaro flavor, that umami.
It's very grown up.
There, but non-alcoholic.
Okay, so we have one more drink that we have time for. It's called Crimson Clover Collins.
Yes.
What is the story behind this one?
So this one, I love a classic Clover Club. It's typically made with gin, raspberry, and egg white. So for my variation, my riff, I wanted to do more of a longer style cocktail, meaning, lengthening it with some soda water.
Okay.
So here we have gin, Fino sherry, we've got some raspberry juice, and a little bit of citrus, and then lengthened with some soda water.
Okay.
There you have it. So,
again,
keep it
really
fresh,
pretty
light.
colors.
Yeah.
Oh, again, and I love it because it's not too sweet. It's
Exactly.
effervescent. It feels like
Yeah.
the great kind of transition drink for the season. So
Exactly.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're
Love
more than welcome.
that.
My pleasure.
Caitlin, great idea and concept for the
Thank you.
book. So thank you so much and congrats.
Well, thank you so
Congrats.
much. 3 cheers.
3 cheers. Okay, 3 cheers for Caitlin's new book. So it is out tomorrow officially, but audience, you're so lucky. You're going home with your copy today. Hey. so good. You get a vote. You get a vote. You get a vote. All right, coming up next, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City star Meredith Marks joins us live. We'll be back.
So great.
Welcome back, everyone. Our next guest is a star on The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. We know her and love her for her viral catchphrases, her affinity for caviar and a good bathtub, and her ability to disengage from the drama.
Yes, please join us in welcoming the one and only Meredith Marks. Okay, so Jess and I are super fans of the Real Housewives franchise, and I remember when they announced that Salt Lake City was gonna get their own franchise, and I go, that sounds like it might be a little boring. Those women are so nice and reserved, and they're all Mormons. What's that? Boy, was I wrong.
I think we were like the underdog. I don't think anyone, I think everyone agreed with you.
Oh my gosh, okay, and I'm hearing that in season 6 is gonna be even more drama. Like, how can there be more drama, Meredith?
We're just barely scratching the surface right now. Yeah, it keeps going.
You're gonna say we have to wait and watch, aren't you?
Of course you do.
Oh, God. Listen, you have a knack for saying these viral sort of catchphrases on the show, so much that they've dubbed the phenomenon Meredith Marks Court. And I'm sure you don't know when you're saying them that they will, but has one of them surprised you the most?
I guess like at some level, the rumors and nastiness took off to a level because I was just so engaged in that moment. Like I had no clue it was going there. I mean, something like I'm disengaging, you know, when you say something over and over again, like odds are that someone might pick up on it, but of course, season 1, I didn't even know that was a thing, so. I didn't know anything season 1.
They go on to have a life of their own. It's incredible.
Absolutely. My favorite, you can leave. I use that all the time. I love that one. And I know,
it's a good one.
Right? I know in the very beginning, a lot of people look down on people on reality shows, and now a lot of A-listers are watching those shows, and they love it. And one A-list star in particular, John Oliver, really loves the show. So do you think that reality stars are finally going to get the merit that they deserve?
I hope so. You know, it is, I think people think it's very easy that we just kind of like go day to day and have some cameras follow us around, and it's not that simple.
It's a little
definitely
more complicated.
not. Yeah, you're opening your life up to the world for, you know, a lot of judgment, a lot of criticism, and you have to really learn to be able to turn that noise off and just truly not care what other people think. And that's very freeing, though.
Yeah.
It's very freeing once
like
you get
that.
there. It takes a while, though. It's not easy.
It's not easy.
Well, stars aren't just watching the show, they're also complimenting its like sort of artistic merit. Like people like Ben Stiller have noted how strong the editing is, like the way it punctuates humor and drama. It's like a masterclass really in editing, but maybe it's a little different from where you sit. Like, are you ever surprised, or what do you think when you look at the final product and think how it's been condensed and cut down?
Yeah, I mean, that is the whole thing with reality TV. It's real, but it is moments and snippets rather than just an ongoing, you know, camera feed. And so at times you're like, well, wait a second. But I also said this, and you didn't say I said this, and it makes it sound very, very different than what you intended, and you have to live with it. That's part of the job.
That would be so frustrating. Could you imagine if they only clipped a part of what we said on the show? Ooh, that'd be horrible.
It's true.
All right, so let's talk about your son, Brooks. We fell in love with him on the show. You guys have such a wonderful relationship, and now he's branched out and he's on his own reality show. So I'm wondering, what advice did you give Brooks, and were you nervous about him, you know, branching out and doing his own show?
I was a little bit nervous, not terribly, only because he had been involved in my show. He had already dealt with trolling on social media, things like that that you tend to worry about, you know, with your child because you're worried about their mental health and well-being going through everything. So I was like, of course, a little bit worried, but not as worried as I would have been with him going in just blind. But really, the best advice I think I gave him, and I would say to anyone in life in general, is just be true to who you are. You know, the biggest regrets I have are when I listened to somebody else and did something because I was told that it was a good idea and it really didn't resonate with me.
Oh my God, I
All
love
right,
that.
great.
I love that.
All right, let's also talk about, I'm seeing those diamonds. Let's talk about your entrepreneurship. We were gonna ignore the beautiful diamonds on her fingers. All right, so you're in the diamond business, you have caviar line, which is great. And you also have another job, which I think would surprise a lot of people. You're also a DJ.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So tell me, what does DJ Marks bring to the ones and twos at a party?
Yeah.
You know, I am having the best time of my life with this. It's like throwing a party and not having to do the hard work. I mean, obviously you're working once you're there and, you know, and there is planning that goes into it as well. But it's just, it's so much fun. You're like, you know, bringing the party, you're getting everybody going and excited, and I've had literally the best time. And we've done a lot of stuff where I'll integrate little like voice clips or video even from the show into it, and it's just fun.
Well, I'm sure you also get to dress up, and you are known for your fashion. So we have a little bit of time left, but a minute. So can we do like a rapid fire thing? We're gonna call this game "What's Meredith's Mark?"
Okay.
So we're gonna go through some of your iconic looks, and you're gonna tell us the grade you think it deserves between A and D.
Okay.
You ready? So first, we're starting with the face mask that broke the internet. How does Meredith Mark this look?
I mean, I say that's like a triple A plus.
Yes.
It was foresight into what was to come.
Yeah.
Christian Cowan, Brooks Marks. How do we go wrong there?
A++, love
Yes,
it.
and who else could pull that off but Meredith Marks, of course.
Exactly.
All right, next up we've got this hot pink birthday outfit. I know. So what's Meredith's Mark on this one?
That's another A plus. Another Christian Cowan. We're pulling all the Christian Cowan today.
You're not wrong. Okay, this next one caused quite a stir online. We've got your Audrey Hepburn-inspired bangs. What's your Meredith Mark here?
I still give this one an A. I know a lot of people liked making fun of it.
Loved
I
it.
love my bangs, and I feel they were very Audrey and very on point.
Loves it.
Okay, we're gonna leave that there. All right, next up we've got this one. Eye mask look that you rocked when you had a scratched cornea, and it also went viral. So what's Meredith's Mark on this one?
I give it an A. Scratched cornea. I mean,
It's so
what else can you
glamorous.
do?
It's so glamorous. I love it.
Meredith, what a delight you are. Thank you so much for coming by and talking with us.
Thank you.
We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Oh, boy. Hey, guys, if you want to watch Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, you know how you can do it? Hey, you! Every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. There you have it. Huh? We'll be right back.
That was fun.
All right, tomorrow on The Social, acclaimed children's author Andrew Larson and son Bells is going to be here to tell us about a book about gender identity for kids, and also makeup, skincare, what to save on, what to splurge on tomorrow's show as well. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow.